Hi everyone, welcome back to the Book Brood. I'm Lane and I'm going to be bringing you a review for a book that I read this last week that I loved. So I'm going to be talking about Sisters by Daisy Johnson. So recently I've been trying to figure out exactly which subgenre of dark academia, not horror, but like this weird nightmare-y dream type genre of book. And I think that it's gothic. So I wanted to try a few more gothic novels. And this is classified as gothic and horror, but I think it's a lot lighter on the horror side, and I'll get into that here in a second. But I picked this up randomly from the library and I listened to it on audio, and I was kind of on the fence about it, but then I saw Simon from Savage Reads read it and loved it, gave it 5 stars. So I decided to give it a shot, and I'm really glad that I did. So Sisters is a story about a single mother raising 2 daughters, July and September. Those are their names. And they're born 10 months apart. So they are teenagers for most of the book. We get a few flashbacks of when they were younger. But for the most part, they're teenagers. And right off the bat, you feel like there is something weird about the relationship between the 2 sisters. It's almost twin-like, but there's something there that's off. And when the story opens, the family has just moved to this old decrepit house that they lived in a long time ago, or the mother lived in and actually gave birth to the oldest daughter in this house, but it's stood pretty abandoned for a while, and it's just dark and creepy and full of really bad memories, especially for the mother. And they had to leave very quickly because something happened at the girls' school. And we slowly get to know what that something was over the course of the book. So the mother in this story is grappling with her own traumatic memories that the house is definitely bringing forward. And she's wrestling her own demons. And so she isn't a big part of this story. She's just kind of there, living in her own trauma and feelings. And the sisters have this codependent relationship that is so tightly knit, so close, that they actually think that they can hear each other's thoughts. And they're it's a very twinsy kind of they even make a reference one time that they dressed up as the twins from The Shining. Was it The Shining? With the 2 twin girls for Halloween one year, because they just have that, they do everything together. They just have that vibe. So the mother really feels like an outsider inside her own family, and the children don't really need her, don't really want to be around her. And so it's very, very much she is in her own pain, and they are just wrapped up in each other. So I was kind of hesitant going into this book because it has rather low ratings on Goodreads. Sometimes when I see a review or multiple reviews criticizing certain aspects of a book, those can actually help influence me to pick it up if those things in a book are things I like. So I saw a lot of negative reviews talking about it's too dreamlike. You can't really tell what's real and what's not. And the writing style is just very, not whimsical, but just dreamlike. And a lot of reviews were saying that they didn't like that about the book. But I love that about a book. I love Catherine House and Mexican Gothic and Rebecca. And so I mean, clearly I have a taste in Gothic books and I just need to read more of them. But I love that nightmare quality, and this book certainly had a lot of that. There were certain scenes where you literally couldn't tell if the character was awake or asleep. But then there was also just the day-to-day scenes that felt so off because you're trying to figure out what's going on with these two sisters. What is it about them? And I will say this book is not necessarily a mystery. There is that element, but the story isn't trying to lead you astray, and it isn't trying to trick you. It's just a slow reveal, and when the reveal is actually made, it's the completion of the story. It's not just there for shock value or, oh no, I never saw it coming, which is something I really can't stand in most suspense or thriller books, is the author trying to trick the reader. I'm not here for that. I like a good reveal if it adds to the story and it just really takes it to that next level. And I think this did that. So ultimately, I would say if you like Gothic novels, if you like books like Catherine House, Rebecca, things in that Mexican Gothic, things in that vein, I think you will really enjoy this. I will say that it is marked as horror, but I'm such a chicken. I don't like a lot of horror, but I was not scared reading this. So if you're going into it hoping for horror, you might be disappointed. Or if you're hesitating because it's horror, I would say just go for it. It's not that scary. So I hope some of you pick this up. I really enjoyed it and I'd love to talk to you about it. Please leave me a comment down below if you have read it. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.